Jim Jordan went scorched earth on Joe Biden.
Joe Biden kept classified information. Joe Biden failed to properly secure classified information. And Joe Biden shared classified information with people he wasn't supposed to.
In a House hearing on Special Counsel Robert Hur's report, the Ohio congressman laid out the facts and even played a clip of Biden flat out denying it.
So we're going to play a short video, President Biden's press conference, because there's things in this press conference that the President of the United States says that are directly contradicted by what you found in your report.
That's why today we're breaking it all down, because we're not here to follow parties blindly. We're here for common sense. So if you're an independent thinker, hit the subscribe button and let's kick things off with Jim's video.
Let me say a few things before I take your questions. As you know, the Special Counsel released his findings today about their look into my handling of classified documents.
President Biden, something the Special Counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad I let you speak. That's
your memory has gotten worse, Mr.
No, look,
President?
my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
For context, this press conference took place early last year, right before Biden secured his party's nomination for a second term. At that point, concerns about his age were already building, but the narrative shifted when the Hur report described him as a, quote, sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. And based on that characterization, the recommendation was made not to prosecute him. That single description changed everything. It was the first time an official document acknowledged Joe's memory issues, contradicting his yearly medical reports, which consistently claimed he was fit to lead. Going back to the press conference, instead of taking accountability, Biden kept deflecting and accusing his staff of mishandling the classified documents, going as far as saying this.
Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me but my staff. I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter?
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
What the Special Counsel said?
Well, no, he did not say that.
Okay.
He did not say that.
Mr. President,
Well, let me answer your question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private, because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what he was referring to. It was not classified information in that document.
That's simply not true. You see, Hur's report explicitly mentions that apart from Biden having classified Afghanistan documents that were marked as, quote, top secret, randomly lying in his garage, he also had a set of notebooks he used as VP, in which he wrote sensitive information discussed during intelligence briefings and meetings in the Situation Room. The report also found that he disclosed some of this information with his ghostwriter while working on his book, not once, but at least 3 separate times. Obviously, Jim Jordan wasn't going to let Joe's comments slide without refuting them. But before we play his response, we have a quick message from our partner that you don't want to miss. Now, do you know that retirement assets grew most during the first 6 months of President Trump's second term? Now, spoiler, it wasn't the stock market. From January 21st to July 21st, the Dow Jones barely moved up, less than 1%. But gold and silver grew by a whopping 25% in the same time frame. 25% in 6 months. That's not just impressive. It's how strategic assets perform in times of uncertainty. Our friends at Augusta Precious Metals specialize in helping Americans move wealth and retirement into self-directed IRAs backed by physical precious metals like gold and silver. They are consistently scored as the most trusted gold IRA company by major financial publications, and they enjoy an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So if you have over $100,000 in your current IRA, 401k, or other retirement accounts, now's the time to safeguard your future. Visit mentorforgold.com, that's mentorforgold.com, to learn how Augusta Precious Metals can become your lifelong self-directed IRA partner. Now back to the video.
Robert Hur was appointed special counsel on January 12th, 2023. He had a fundamental question to address. Did Joe Biden unlawfully retain classified information? The answer, yes, he did. Page 1 of Mr. Hur's report, he says this: our investigation uncovered evidence that President Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials after his vice presidency when he was a private citizen. He further writes, Mr. Biden willfully retained marked classified documents about Afghanistan and handwritten notes in his notebooks, which he stored in unsecure places in his home. Joe Biden kept classified information, and Joe Biden failed to store classified information properly. Mr. Hur made these determinations after interviewing 147 witnesses. He examined 7 million documents, including emails, text messages, photographs, videos, toll records, and other materials from both classified and unclassified sources.
And here's the interesting part. Despite all of the evidence we showed so far, on top of everything Jim Jordan mentioned, Democrats used this hearing to score political points. Some claimed Hur had, quote, exonerated Biden entirely, acting like there was nothing worth questioning. But Hur pushed back, saying that was not the case. Republicans seized on the moment to highlight the glaring difference in treatment. See, while Trump faced an indictment over the classified documents found at Mar-a-Lago, Biden's case was let go, simply because of his memory. The double standard and hypocrisy couldn't be more obvious. But Jim wasn't done just yet, and what came next turned up the heat even more.
But there's more. Joe Biden not only kept information he wasn't allowed to keep, and he not only failed to secure that information properly, he also shared it with people who weren't allowed to see it. Shared that information with his ghostwriter. And remember, this is information that only individuals with a security clearance are supposed to see. Mr. Hur told us on page 200 of his report that it's the kind of information that, quote, risk serious damage to America's national security. But even with all that, Mr. Hur chose not to bring charges because, quote, Mr. Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did in our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. A forgetful old man who Mr. Hur said did not remember when he was vice president, forgetting on the first day of the interview when his term ended, and forgetting on the second day of the interview when his term as vice president began.
Now this is a point worth digging into, because paradoxically enough, until the release of this report, the narrative from the White House and mainstream outlets was that Biden was sharp, capable, and fully fit to serve. Even after its release, Biden stepped in front of cameras and insisted he was perfectly fine. If that's truly the case, then the defense that he's too mentally diminished to be held accountable shouldn't even be on the table. You can't have it both ways. Either he's mentally sharp and responsible for his actions, or he's not fit to lead. Consistency matters. The more we twist logic to fit political convenience, the faster public trust breaks down. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, keep thinking.